Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly watch list where we are going to run through our top names and a couple that we don't usually go over. So as usual, I'm going to start off with ES, SPY, SPX, whatever you play, same thing. So if you remember from last week, we were bearish heading into the week. The structure had changed. We were clearly heading into a downtrend. That's exactly what happened. I thought the golden pocket would hold. We've blown past that, and now the last hope is 0.786, which I don't hold. I don't hold too much weight in, just because we've blown past this so significantly. The only saving grace I think here is the RSI is completely blown out on the hourly. We're down into like the teens, I think. So let's take a look here. Yeah, so like we're down into like 12. So, you get, 2 consecutive days of really, really harsh selling. This is algorithmic selling. This is not, this isn't like the rush of fears of people panic selling stocks. This is not that. This is all algos. It's controlled selling. It's been 2 days of, almost 200 points, in a sell off. So, I think, heading into the week, we might have a short relief bounce, reset the RSI, and I think we have more room to the downside. I think we come back and we challenge these lows here again. We come right back around here and just give it one more test and see what happens there. One level at a time, 4,000, 3,800. I think those play out sometime this year, but before we head back to the upside. But it was very clear to me last Sunday when making this video that there was more downside coming. So same thing on NQ. We'll start on the daily. Again, we never reached the golden pocket to the upside. I'll go ahead and delete that. And again, same thing as SPX, same thing as ES. I think we're going to come back down and we're going to test, these lows from where we were once before. At least give it one more try. Bears are in the driver's seat. We can get a little relief, small bounce, and go from there. So we'll look at the big names. Apple. We're coming up on really this is confluence at its finest. We have the golden pocket held, the 0.618 held literally to the penny. We're coming up on the trend line, and we also have the 200 SMA. So it can be used as some type of support. Again, we've had 3 days of selling on Apple. Maybe a bounce comes this week, and I think we've come too far not to at least test, give this a test. Same thing with Tesla. We have golden pocket coming up. We have trend line coming up. I think the most important thing for Tesla is holding at this point right here, right now, is holding 954, 945-ish area, somewhere around there. Basically this zone right here. I think this needs to hold to see any type of movement to the upside, and I think if it doesn't, we get acceleration to the downside, and that's typically what happens with Tesla. You get these sharp down days. So looking for 954, 945 to hold somewhere around there. If not, I'm grabbing puts down in the 800s somewhere. Facebook. This is interesting. In the Discord, I put together a list of bear names, bear flags that were about to play out. This was a couple days ago, and they've played out since. You have a clear bear flag on the weekly here on Facebook, and on the daily, we have a level of support that's been blown by. Now we have earnings coming up on, I don't know, what is this, Wednesday maybe, for Facebook. And if we don't get a relief bounce here, I don't think it's impossible to see Facebook head down to 160, 150 area. I think, best case scenario heading into the week is a bounce, sets up a bear flag, maybe pull a fib, do something like that, and we can get, pull that down a little bit, some type of relief bounce and head lower. I just don't think anything is working in favor of Facebook heading into earnings. There isn't much going on that can help them. So it's a clear entry if we can get a pop above here, if you can get a bounce. And I think a clear stop is anything below this 184. So you lose that and you're out if you're gonna go long. I wouldn't buy puts, or I wouldn't go short on any names here, just because we're, the move has been had. I don't think that's you know, productive to your portfolio, buying puts this late in the game. So Amazon broke out of the channel, came here to support, and just like everything else, if tech isn't running, if ES is down, if NQ is down, I think we come back down to these lows. I think ultimately everything wants to come back and test the lows and see what it's made of. But again, it's also set up for just a quick bounce, you know, a bear flag setup, you know, get a candle like this, you know, something like, boom, something like that, you know, just to set up and reset the RSI, set up a bear flag before, you know, eventually making its, you know, way back down, if that's what it's going to do. Google is really ugly. It's in no man's land here, and I don't think 2200 is impossible. You know, these are sharp drops on a name that's supposed to split, and I know people started pouring in to grab, you know, shares before the split. I don't think, you know, that worked last year when they were printing money. Everybody had some money, some disposable income. I don't think that's going to work this year for Amazon and Google. You know, I think, you know, when they're $100, $125, I don't think they're going to move at all. So something to be careful about if you're going into these names hoping to, you know, get, 20-1 split or whatever it is, you know, hoping to, you know, diversify. Square is interesting as well. So this is a bear flag on the weekly, looking to break bear just like everything else. I have a price target of, you know, somewhere between $80 and $85 on Square. You know, it breaks bear a little bit, holds, you know, if it can hold this range here, boom, you know, resistance turn to support. You know, we obviously bounced here very hard. You know, it's this 86 to, you know, almost $300. You know, if it can get one more test down here at the 82 level and bounce, I think it's healthy. I don't think it can go any lower than that. You know what's under this $80 level here. You know, it's not going to 30, but you know, it's thin, man. It's going to give back the entire move. Let's pull a weekly fib while I'm here. So that's our 0, that's our 1. You know, 0.786 is where it has to hold. Has to hold $87. There's no question about it. It has to hold that. Anything under that, you know, IPO price. PayPal, same thing. It's already broken bear. Next up is $80, $79, somewhere around there. That's also my price target on this. I don't think it has much further to go. Look at the heights that it's fallen from. Again, anything lower than this, it's trouble, because there's nothing under here either. You know, now we're going back again. We're going back to IPO price. Yeah, it's not anything pretty under here. This is going to be a 1-to-1 move. If it comes back down here to 79, this is, you know, some incredible stuff. So 86, you know, 300 plus and right back down. Gave the entire move back, and this is the reset. You know, this is what happens when you print money and you got to take it back. Nvidia is at a critical level as well. Blew through all of these touches here that we drew out last week. You know, I said it was worth, you know, getting a shot and seeing if it bounces again. And the overall structure of the market was not conducive to any type of bounce. You know, it got really harsh sell-offs. So, last but not least, the VIX. It's worth noting that, you know, if the VIX can get an inside bar, get something, you know, it cools off the market a little bit, you know, because once we head into 30, I think it accelerates. We can see 35, 40 fast. But I think, you know, some type of, you know, when the VIX cools off, we get a bounce here. You know, maybe we reclaim the golden pocket. But, you know, inside bar on the VIX, if you're long, is what you want, because you'll in turn be rewarded with a bounce. So, and then lastly but not least, Bitcoin. I think we go back and we see 35. I think we head back, we test some of these lows down here, see what it's made of. Trend lines being rejected. Look above and fail. You know, hasn't reclaimed the ADMA. Bitcoin is very technical, so this is something you can draw a fib on from the downside. Try to catch a bounce. Pull something like that. And even that's ugly. I wouldn't use that, but you know, as long as it's trapped under this long-term trend line, I'm not sure how much upside we can expect. So I'm thinking 37, 35, somewhere around there, and before we get any type of bounce to get back over. I mean, it's pretty clear. Like, market conditions have to change. There has to be something in favor of moving to the upside. This, 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, I made a video about this here. It stopped dead in its tracks with the golden pocket, and you get a bounce. Whether it be up or down, you get a bounce when you hit that golden pocket. That's exactly what it did. Do we come back down to the zero? Do we head to the 0.386 doomsday scenario? Come back to 3,800. If you guys enjoyed this, please share it. Give it a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. You know that. And we'll have a couple lives this week as well. 2 or 3. Some futures trading. No crypto this week. I won't trade any crypto, but definitely some futures trading on Tradeovate. And I will see you guys later on in the week. Have a great day.